Hey everybody, today is going to be a fun day. Today is going to be logging 101. I'm going to be cutting down a pretty big tree here. Gotta turn my music down. I'm in the Black Hills of South Dakota, and today we're going to be cutting down, actually I'm just going to be cutting down a pine beetle kill on my own here. You can see I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. The road's actually closed up ahead there. In October last year, 2013, we had a really big snowstorm, and a bunch of trees fell down. So I kind of cut my way into this road, hoping nobody would bother me up here. I'm pretty sure I'll be all right. I'm gonna be skidding out this road right here. The tree I found is kind of up the hill, so I'm going to take it with. I got the music running just because it's a little deterrent. I'll show you what I found when I was clearing this road out. I got my falling axe. I'm not really going to need it. I got my 288 XP Husqvarna saw, my log and tape, and of course my GoPro mount that I'll be putting you in later on. But this is the area I'm going to be skidding this tree out, and when I got in here I noticed there's a turkey kill. So the only thing that'll kill a turkey around here is a mountain lion. So that's a cat kill right there, just a FYI. If you're going to be out here by yourself, you better be prepared to deal with nature. So shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna be making a bunch of noise. I got a chainsaw. I've been in the woods a whole bunch. I love doing this. If I had it my way, I'd be out cutting wood every day. So this is the fun part, at least for me. If you're gonna build a house on your own from scratch, cutting your own wood and everything, you're gonna have to do something like this. Now, if I wanted to, I talked to the Forest Service. I have a wood permit, so it's $20. You just go to the Forest Service office, tell them you need a wood permit, and they'll give you one. Now, because of this storm, see all this green tree, all these green trees that have fallen? I talked to the Forest Service, and they said that, yeah, as long as it's on the ground and dead, you can cut it up. Well, if it's on the ground, it's going to be dead, but it kind of speaks for itself. So I'm actually not interested in green wood. It takes a while to dry, and it doesn't have the cool coloring that a bug kill tree does. So I might cut some in the future. We'll see, and maybe use some of it. There's so much wood here. I just like doing, what I'm doing, cutting these bug kill trees, is actually good for the forest. You're getting rid of their homes so they can't kill any more trees. That's the tree I'm going for. It's probably an 18-inch tree at the base. It's a really big, nice tree. It's got a little bit of a sway in it. I'll be able to cut out the sway for my 12-foot logs, and it shouldn't be a problem. I try to follow it right down in there so I can hook onto it with the truck and pull it out and then buck it up. So when I say bucket, just cut the branches off and stuff. So there's our tree. Actually, that might be a little over 18. This is the first time I've been this close to it. That's what a bug kill tree looks like. This one's been dead for probably a few years. So it's good. And actually, in the Forest Service, they teach you to use your falling axe to sound the tree. So some of the stuff we'll be talking about today, if you've cut trees down and logged and everything, that it probably won't be very interesting to you. But to sound a tree, you just give it a whack, and you can tell this is a solid tree. you always want to look up, see what you got. I mean, look how straight that is. It's pretty good. It goes about, I don't know, 20 foot before I got a sway in it. I only need 12, so maybe I'll get 2 12s out of it before that sway. Here's your, that's your bug hit right there. They go in there and they eat the inside of the bark where the water goes up the tree. Right in here, they get in there, and it basically just suffocates the tree. The tree can't get any water to the pine needles and it dies. So that's a bug kill tree. I'm gonna go ahead and get set up here, kind of explain the process of falling on a tree. Maybe I'll stop breathing so hard at climbing up that hill with the chainsaw too. But yeah, I'm gonna explain falling a tree like you've never done it before, and hopefully it'll be helpful. Actually, now that I'm looking at this tree, it looks like it's leaning uphill, so that might be a problem. I'm gonna try to fall it. Try to fall it this way and see what happens. That shouldn't be a problem, but getting it out of here is probably gonna be a problem. But anyway, I'll stop here and then go from there. I'm back with a little bit more stuff. I had to go down and grab my headphones. Running the saw is a little noisy. And I also got my saw chaps. You're probably going to want to get a pair of these if you're going to be cutting trees down, at least cutting a bunch of trees down. It's a lot cheaper to buy a pair of saw chaps than to go take yourself a trip to the ER. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this tree. This is probably a C tree, maybe B tree. It might actually, it's probably a B plus tree. When I say that, I'm referring to the way they grade the tree difficulty to fall. This is probably a little bit bigger tree than what I should be falling on my own, but you want to get a tree down, you gotta do it. So I'll set you up here and then explain what I'm doing as I do it. I wish I had a little bit better tree to fall that wasn't as dangerous as this one to kind of explain it better, because I'm going to probably end up having to do some trick stuff on it. Alright, let's pause the video right here. This is about the point in the audio where I realized that I didn't actually have the mic hooked up right. I had the line and the line out instead of the line in, so none of my audio is actually recorded off the good microphone. It's kind of the reason you hear all the pops and whatever else. But what I'm going to do is explain as this video goes along what I'm saying and what I'm trying to show you guys. So let's resume the video and go from there. Okay, so I'm looking at the tree right now and I'm thinking it's probably going to fall this way. So I'm going to go ahead and set my cut up. What I'm doing here is just looking at the tree and kind of pointing where I think it's going to fall, and explaining how I determine that by looking up at the top of the tree where the mass of the branches are and kind of the lean of the tree, and then go from there as far as trying to figure out how the tree is going to fall and what I can do to adjust that and make it fall where I want it to fall. So these are the tags that you're going to need to get from the Forest Service. They're about 20 bucks. You can go in and tell them you want a firewood permit and they'll give you tags like this. You're gonna need these to get your trees. So you need to fill those out once their timber is cut down, and then you're supposed to hand them into the Forest Service when you're done. From this point on, the audio is actually pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and resume it with the GoPro audio and you can watch from there. Alright, that looks like a good view. We'll try that and hopefully I don't break my camera. Alright, so this tree is actually a little bit over 24 at the base. This is a 24-inch bar on the saw, so she's pretty big, and it's going to make a loud, good noise when you drop this one. Now this is actually called a face cut, and I screwed it up a little bit. I'm going to clean it up, and then I'll get you close and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this isn't the prettiest face cut. My bar isn't quite big enough. So that's the face cut. It's the way they teach you in the Forest Service to cut like this. When you watch the people on the East Coast, a lot of times they'll cut the inverse of this, so they'll cut the flat part in, and then they'll cut their wedge like this. Well, that's what you cut like that if you want to get more wood out of your tree. You're talking an extra 4 inches. With the pine tree, it doesn't really matter because it's not the most valuable lumber in the world. If you're cutting down a hardwood tree, you want to make sure and get as much wood out of the tree as possible. So that's why they do that. I don't remember what kind of cut that's called, but that's what they do. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this down. You'll see me looking up a lot, and that's a really good practice to get yourself into, because I'm always looking for stuff to fall out of this tree. I'm trying to look and see what the tree wants to do to me. If the tree starts moving this way or that way or whatever, you just want to be aware of what the tree is doing at the top, because if you're not, it could come back to get you, especially when you're cutting a tree this big. You'll die fast. So, not a joke. I'm going to go ahead and put this other cut in, and she's going to fall. Actually, I'll move you again so you can watch it fall. It's gonna go right where I think it's gonna go, and I'm not gonna like it, so can't win every battle. What I'm thinking is, because it's not gonna fall where I want it to, I'll just cut my 12 footers and roll them down into the truck and then pull them out that way. Usually I like to pull the whole tree and then cut my 12 footers on the ground so it's a little bit easier. Now before I do this, one thing you want to be aware of is where you're going to go when it falls, and if it falls the wrong way, you really need to have an escape route planned out. That's what they call it in the Forest Service. So my primary escape route is going to be downhill to my right, and my secondary is going to be uphill and to my left. Now, most of the time you don't want to go uphill, but this isn't that steep. So the way this tree is going to fall, this should be all right. And I'm cutting it a little heavy on this side to try to spin it to the right, hopefully. If it doesn't spin, it's going to fall in line with the slope. So it is what it is. fell it right where I wanted it to go. I don't know if you could see in the video how it kind of, my cut kind of pulled it to the right. And I don't know what it looked like from where you guys were looking. But that's actually a good fall. It kind of sucks that the tree broke in half, so it must have been a little bit rotted. It looks from the base, it looks pretty good. And actually when you look at my cut, it's pretty dang even. I was trying to put it a little bit heavier over here, but I mean that's 2 inches across. Not bad. There's a 24-inch tree right there. You can see the blue staining from the bug kill, and it's pretty good. It looks like I got a really good 12 feet before that sway right there, straight as an arrow, and then I got another 12 feet after that, straight as an arrow. I'm gonna still say this tree is a good tree, even though the top fell out. Hopefully the top's not all rotted out here. We'll go check it out. You can see this one's actually been dead for quite a while. It's got moss already growing on the top branches. Looking here, it is a little bit punky where it broke, but I'm gonna still say it's a good tree. You can tell it's punky. See this white stuff? And when I can squish it with my hands. See that? That's punky. So when I'm bucking this tree, I'm gonna have to be aware of where the punky parts are and try to cut them out of my timber. You don't want to be using punky wood. It's not structurally sound, and it's just something you gotta look for when you're cutting these bug kill trees, because anything that's been dead for a while, especially something like this, you're gonna run into some punky stuff. So I'm gonna kill the video here and clean this up, skid it down to the ground, and then I'll probably pick up with the video again and show you a little bit of how I cut my stuff to length and load it up and all that fun jazz. So that's cutting a tree 101 right there. I do not recommend doing a tree this big until you get really comfortable cutting trees down. When I started out on A trees. Everybody's going to start out on A trees. This right here is an A tree. You can see right there, it's probably about 70 feet or something, or 60 feet or something like that, 50 feet, whatever. The A tree classification is the easiest. If I were you and you're starting out cutting trees the first time, I would go cut some small stuff like this. Practice your wedges. Practice aiming where you want the tree to fall. Don't get yourself in anything big until you're real comfortable cutting trees down. So that's the way they start you at the Forest Service. And when I say the Forest Service, I was actually a firefighter. I paid my way through college doing firefighting during the summer. So that's where I learned, and it's probably the best place to learn because they teach you the right way and they teach you the safe way. So they don't teach you to spin trees like what I tried to do, but that's something you can kind of learn to do on your own, and just be aware of what you're doing. So with that, I'll stop the video here, get to working, and catch back up.